Hey everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to Joyful Living. Today I'm sharing with you things that you do not need to pack on your next cruise. These are things that I used to pack all the time, that I never used, that I regretted taking. And I actually asked this same question over on Instagram, and I was amazed at how y'all's list lined up with mine. So let's talk what you don't have to take on your next cruise, and I'm really glad that you're here. So I had not cruised at all until I was in my 40s. And I kind of obsessed when I took my first cruise over packing all of the perfect stuff. I think I had in my mind something like, oh, I don't know, the Love Boat or an Affair to Remember or even the Titanic. Do I want to say that? Maybe not. But very glamorous and beautiful clothes and everyone just sort of, posing and having their picture taken. The reality of modern cruises is not all that. And I kind of learned very quickly that cruising today is really more like a really nice summer camp. And it's not that you're never going to dress up, but it's the vibe on board is way different than I thought. So between that and a few little gadgets and gizmos that the YouTubers swore I had to have that I've never used, I've compiled a pretty big list of stuff I don't take on board. And when I asked on Instagram, you guys had so many responses, but there were a couple of things that you said over and over again. And so those are the ones that I'm really going to focus on. So the number one thing, and I kind of already touched on this, that I feel and that those of you that responded on Instagram feel is that we brought too many clothes, and specifically we brought too many fancy clothes. Now, this really does depend on the cruise line because there are some cruise lines that have a formal night, but by and large, most cruise lines have gone to sort of this more casual style of cruising. You may want to dress up in the evening. I frequently will wear a dress in the dining room in the evening with a little jacket or a little sweater because they like to keep the dining rooms freezing. Pro tip, even in summer, even in the Bahamas. But so many of you responded that you did not need to take all those clothes. Think through kind of how you'll be living your days on the cruise ship. I've sort of settled into, I wake up in the morning and I always like to go for a run or a walk. I like to have my breakfast and then I like to change either into my swimsuit or into shorts and a t-shirt, depending on what the activities are for the day. And then I'll usually change into a casual dress for the show and dinner. That's it. And I will wear clothes multiple times, and you will find a lot of people on board doing exactly the same thing. I remember maybe our second or third Disney cruise, I met these two women that were best friends that cruised all the time together, and they literally had a tiny backpack and a tiny rolling suitcase per person. We're talking the size that you can use as a personal item, and it was a 5-night cruise. And I kind of asked them, I'm like, is this all the luggage that you have? And they're like, oh yeah, this is all we bring. We have it down to a science. We never check our bags. We always get on, bring all of our gear with us on board. We always take everything off on our own, which by the way will save you a ton of time when you are disembarking the ship. And they just felt that they were there to enjoy, not to be fashion models. Now, obviously, if you're an influencer and you're going to have your picture taken all over the ship, your experience may vary, but that's not how I cruise. I cruise for my own enjoyment. I do bring you guys along and I show you the highlights, but even as someone who films my own cruising, you're going to see the same outfit from me multiple times. Now, you may see a dress that I pair with a sweater one evening and then I pair it with a little jacket the next, or I change the jewelry or whatever the case may be. But I find that the more simple my wardrobe is when I cruise, the happier I am. And I'm very busy when I'm on a cruise ship. There's a lot to do. And I really don't want to be like, Dolly Parton on the opening of Dollywood, changing my outfit 5 times because I have, all of these great clothes that I want to wear. Keep it simple, wear clothes that you're really comfortable in, bring a couple of layers because it can get chilly in the evenings, but just don't take too many clothes and don't take too many fancy clothes. By the way, I will have a complete packing video that will go up over on my other channel that will be right before my Disney Cruise Line trip coming up. So if you are interested in that, make sure you head over there and subscribe and hit those bell notifications. Okay, the number 2 thing, and again, all of y'all on Instagram said this as well, was too many shoes. I don't know what it is about women. We feel like we have to pack 15 pairs of shoes for every vacation. And particularly for a cruise, this is unnecessary. I find I need a pair of pool flip-flops for the beach and the pool. I need a cute pair of sandals for cuter outfits. I need a pair of walking/running shoes. And then maybe I need a pair of shoes for the evening, but more often than not, the sandals are doubling as what I'm wearing with my dresses. High heels on a cruise ship, unless you're going like for a wedding or something, it's just not practical. I don't find high heels to be practical in general anymore, but you're doing so much walking. I have a strict rule when I cruise that I only take the stairs. I do not take the elevators. So if your girl is schlepping up and down, I'm on deck 10, by the way, for this next cruise. So there's going to be a lot of steps going on. You really don't want to be in high heels going up and down a bunch of steps. Not only that, but if you're having rough seas, I once sailed out of New York to Bermuda, and those of the women that were in high heels were in a world of hurt because the ship was really moving a lot, and high heels can not only be not comfortable, but they can actually be unsafe. So pack shoes that do double duty. And again, it's not a fashion show. Wear shoes that you like, that are cute, but don't feel like you have to bring a different pair of shoes for every outfit. Really pare that down, and in my view, leave the really $600 high heels at home in your closet. Those are not good for cruising, for me anyway. You do you. I mean, if you want to take them, but you know what I mean. The third section here is like gadgets and gizmos that people, gadgets and gizmos and gadgets, either way, gizmos and gadgets, I guess, that people say you have to have on a cruise ship. And I can't even find the other one of these, but I bought like 4 pairs of these for our first cruise, thinking that we all needed these little clippy things to keep our towel on the lounger. I have never used these one single time. I don't really ever need them. It's not like if I'm on my lounge chair, I almost always have my beach bag. So if I get up, I just put my beach bag on my chair and go to the pool and come back and there's my bag. I don't get these. I don't know why everybody says you have to have them. If you swear by them, I love that for you. But these puppies went on 3 or 4 different cruises with me before I realized I was never going to use them. And they are kind of cute, but never used. I don't think you need them. Throw them away. This also goes for any other gadgety type things, especially on the newer ships. There was a time when USB outlets were impossible to find on cruise ships, and if you're sailing an older ship, this still may be something that you want to consider. I do have one of those cruise authorized, because you can't take extension cords, but it's like a little plug-in thing that has USB and extra plugs. But the last several times I've sailed on newer ships, I have found plenty of outlets. I have just not needed to take all of those electronic things, and very simple, very pared down, and very easy. So just don't stress about it. And really, modern cruising is meant to be convenient. They don't want you stressing about packing. They want to make sure they have everything you need. And I have not found the need for those extra plugs anymore. Number 4, some of you, when I found this out, this blew my mind. You do not need bottled water. And here's why. Look it up. Like, I did my research. All of the major cruise lines, okay, or at least all the ones that I researched. So Royal Caribbean, Viking Sea, Disney Cruise Line. The water that comes out of your bathroom sink on board is triple filtered using a filtration system that turns the salt water into potable drinking water. It is amazing technology, and the water tastes great. You do not need bottled water. Now, the exception to this would obviously be if you are going to a place where you're not sure if the water is safe in port and you want to have bottled water for that. In Disney's case, if you're going to Castaway Cay, you may want to get bottled water for that, although I prefer to just bring, a really big thing of my own and fill it up before I get on the island. Bottled water to me on a cruise ship is a complete waste of money. Now, what I will do is fill up, my own personal cup and put it in the fridge, because I do like my water to be cold, and you can absolutely get ice on board the ships, but all of the water on cruise ships is triple filtered. It's actually, to me, it tastes like Starbucks water. It's that good. Now, if you are a water snob and you can only drink Fuji water, or you can only drink Dasani water, or whatever the case may be, by all means, make yourself comfortable, but there is absolutely no need ever for you to bring bottled water on a cruise ship. It's just not necessary. So those are the things that I have overpacked. I have really gone from someone who could not see myself doing carry-on only on a cruise to now that is really all I do is carry-on only. I really have pared down. Again, I find that I'm so busy on the ship that I don't want to spend my time thinking about what to wear. So I do spend a lot of time in advance thinking through my outfits so that they are just grab and go, making sure it's more of like a capsule wardrobe, meaning that everything goes with everything else so that I do still feel like I have options, but I'm not schlepping a bunch of luggage that I have to worry about. I'm not having to make all of these hard decisions when it's time to go down to the dining room in the evening. And yeah, to me, it's a much less stressful way to cruise, and it just sets everything off on the right foot. So I hope this video was helpful. If you like these kinds of videos, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And I do not do sponsored posts, so if you want to support the work that I do, please join us over on Patreon, where we do exclusive live streams and meetups and all kinds of fun over there. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're finding joy, and I'll see you next time. Bye, and bon voyage. Okay.